if that is a blocker potentially for people to buy the item for our third party, maybe we should offer them that, because recognizing as well, and we discussed that also later, that size matters in logistics, and some small vendor cannot maybe offer the fulfillment capability that we can offer. Therefore, if we could make that accessible to them, that would be all benefit for our customer. Oh, sorry. Okay. The innovation, I'm not going to talk that long about that, but the innovation is also our products. Because we also, I said, we are e-commerce, but we're also a producer of some product, and nice product. But all those products have been designed on customer need and base, basically, which in my view is the interesting thing. Once again, even when we start to go on manufacturing product, we are thinking about how the customer, the Kindle in my view was the most developed and advanced way how you can take customer need and build around that. You just write what the customer wants and you build around that. You don't care about the technology, you figure out later what the technology will be required to get that. For example, a few things, and the most of the big thing we introduced was there was not LED screen. It was a paper light screen, which for the elderly people was a big problem. It was all these tablets were screen, basically, and reflective light. Ours, from the beginning, were no, it was like paper, therefore you read the book. The second thing was the battery life. I mean, we still, and our product is still a month time of battery. Now they're not super fancy, now you cannot browse on the internet, that's right, it's a reader. But those kind of things have been done by just bringing customer for month and month, working directly even with Jeff involved in that case, say, what would you expect from that? Because there was one thing, and that is also one of the ways that define well Amazon. One thing we realized is our sales were on book mostly until 2004 and 5. And in the company, we expanded, books was still book and media were still the biggest product we are selling and the biggest share of our sales in the company. We knew that we would not end up. We could not build a company and selling books. Therefore, instead of trying to fight to get the book staying on top of every people's mind, and discarding potentially the growth of the electronics aspect of the book, we decided to reverse the paradigm. We said, you know what, if it has to be like that, let's build ours. And the other company started to say, but let's build the right one. Let's build the one where the customer is going to like it because it really fits a new need. The fact that we can also carry more than 1,500 books is also a huge benefit that we built it up front. But all those is not any clever people at Amazon we did it. It's customer. It's just the only thing we did, and then the clever part of the Amazon people is sitting and listening what the customer wants. Instead of thinking, you know what, I'm going to design the most funky and nice product using the best of the last technology. And also limiting yourself to the last best technology. I think we've proven that we have developed the technology when it's not existing, and Kindle has broken a lot of patents for that, of technology that we had put in place, just because they weren't existing, but they were needed. I won't talk much on that because first I'm not a specialist. I'm maybe a passionate, but not a specialist. But of course, it's not just great product because once again, it's still not the core of our business by far. We're not a manufacturer of electronics. We are e-retailer. As I said earlier, we always start with that. Customer first. And there is this concept which we process it. There is two words. We process it and we live it. I'm going to give you the process part, which is called the customer and work backward piece. In Amazon, we have a very peculiar way to do business is when, for example, that's not what we do at Amazon. We never, or very rarely, standing and presenting anything. Is it internally either, except for onboarding some new people or kind of sometimes just to give a message, but usually when we want to discuss about business, we want to discuss about should we do that tech decision, we sit around the table and we read the document. It's a very particular way to do that. We have a rule which has been installed, I think more or less 10 years ago, where you have to write a 6-pager document. And most of those 6-pager, when you want to bring a new service or a new whatever, you have to start with a press release, internal press release, which is exactly the work backward document. It's looking exactly like you would go to any press outside, but it's really speaking about customer. Basically, Jeff refused to discuss an idea which is not starting with what the customer will tell about what you want to do. What the nice story the customer would like. Therefore, you need to work for what the customer wants or needs, and you work backward to say, finally, ta-da, this is how I'm going to fix the problem. And all documents which are presented, prime program, for example, started like that. The prime program, which is the core program that combines that in the company, has started like that. Somebody comes and say, would it not be nice if customers very quick delivery and not bothering paying anymore? Go with that and figure it out. And after that, the press release was already that. It's fantastic to me. The press release was that. I didn't read the press release of this one, but I'm sure it was kind of, it would be fantastic if an order at Amazon being delivered very quick and not have to bother paying anything. That would have been in the press release. And that would attract the attention of the company saying, wow, that's a good punchline for a customer. Okay, how do you make that happen? And now after you have your plan for the rest of the document on 6 pages. That's what we do. That is customer working backward. Therefore, it's not only a kind of, oh, in our company, customer is king or whatever. It's not that. It's how you embed in your processes of doing business the customer all the time. Another one, for example, that we don't use all the time, very used before this customer backward is very frequently in some of the top meetings of the decision, there was an empty chair at the decision table. And it was the customer's chair. It was empty. We were going to bring our customer, you see, that's 200 million, hard to fit in the room. But it was an empty chair. And in Jeff meeting, in board meeting, you had an empty chair. And at any point of time, that was to attract the attention of the top management and saying, this guy has to say something. And obviously, one of the team members was taking that voice at one point saying, but are you really sure our customer will think it's good? Are we really sure that our customer will like to do that? You know? And that was a way as well to materialize and making sure that at the heart of any decision, we were thinking about how the customer will be perceived. What you see on the right-hand side, it works. We are recognized for that. It's part of the excellence again mentioned, but customer love it. Customer love that we take care of them. That's absolutely a no-brainer. And recognized for years. And those are the most recently that, yeah, the customer loves us, buy from us, but love also the way we interact with them. Not only buy from us because they're cheap, even if it's important. They buy from us because they like the service and they like to be treated as they heard when they say, it doesn't work, you should not do that, and you should not do that. And we try to embed that as much as possible. And customer service in our organization, who is part of the operation as well, globally, has a strong voice. It's on many meetings. There is many communication going all over the organization about what doesn't work yet well in the organization and how we could fix them. They are really engaged in all the activities, from Kindle to the distribution and the delivery. There is connection everywhere where they bring us what we call internally the voice of the customer. Mostly, unfortunately for them, based on bad experience. When people say, yeah, I had a problem there, or it doesn't work as I was expected. But that is how we make sure we evolve as well. We're listening and evolve. The last thing on customer experience is in customer focus is an example of, forget me if I'm wrong for the one which was in the UK, I think it was 2010, where we had a bad December in terms of weather and snow. And all over Europe, by the way. It was not only UK, but the UK pretty seriously impacted, and unfortunately, we arrived to a point very close to Christmas where the network is jammed, basically, because we keep shipping stuff. We give to our carrier. At that time, we were not operating as a last mile carrier. We are giving to our carrier, which are taking the load, and the problem they cannot put driver out. In some part of the country, they cannot put driver out because the snow, because the conditions were not good. Therefore, we start back on those hours. 5 days, I started the 10th or the 12th of December, just before Christmas. Customer get horribly nervous, obviously. And we had a decision to take there at one point. I was at that point managing the transportation network EY, and we sit with our MD in the UK on the website. I say, what do we do? That's customer start calling, obviously, customer service, being anxious. Where's my parcel? When I'm going to be delivered? And we can't answer straight because obviously, and some of you know, being part of that, when your network starts to be jammed, it's very difficult to know where you are. Because you put everywhere. And particularly when you have a kind of next day flow and you stop that at one point, all the infrastructure are not ready to support 1 or 2 days of business hanging around, particularly at the peak of the year. Therefore, there was a lot of, and there was for everyone, there was even a competition take there because nobody get a better solution. We were stuck and we cannot deliver really and didn't know what was going to happen. And what we took as a decision, there was 2 strong decisions which I think few companies took. One, yes, the second one, not at all, but which are driven by customer. The first one is we dropped all the promises on our website and stopped promising for Christmas. That was a lot. That was a risk because others keep promising. Therefore, yeah, customers could start ordering from other websites and get potentially a product or not, but at least buy elsewhere. Therefore, that shut pretty seriously our sales on that time, or slow very strongly our sales. 10 days before Christmas, when you say, I don't know if I'm going to deliver for Christmas, therefore, you know what? I'm telling you. And you do whatever you want. You take the risk, you don't take the risk. I'm not preventing you to buy, but I'm telling you, I'm not going to commit anymore. That was the first action. To prevent it to continue to bleed and make sure the customer was an honest view of potentially setting the right expectation. Bad, but right expectation. The second thing we did when we moved a little bit 5 days later, realizing that yes, we started to redeliver, but we have no idea, no chance to know, particularly because also some of the parcels at that time were not tracked, if they would make it on time, if the backlog would be clear by Christmas. Every customer will start coming back complaining, we refund them. Entire, the full order. Because the point was the following. We can't help customer money. At that time, the customer has paid because it's cheap from our warehouse. Therefore, we can't help the money of the customer. There are families which can't double the cost of buying Christmas for their children because they spend the money on Amazon. They don't have more to spend. Therefore, and we can't get to the situation where families not have anything to put on the tree and children not having a present because the parents go back to the shop and buy again. Therefore, systematically, when the customer says, I don't get it, I'm a little bit anxious and I want, we refund. Millions have been refunded. And just again, because no proof we are required, we didn't even know if it was delivered. It's just on the trust basis, meaning loyalty basis. You tell me you don't have, I'm going to refund you. We refund millions of orders. And we said, you know what, and there was a question I said, but some will be delivered by it, for sure. I said, yeah, but we're going to start to get loyalty back. Therefore, we expect that if customers will be found, and finally the parcel arrive, they will come back to us and say, hey, by the way, could you credit my credit card again, or I will return, obviously, the first parcel to the inventory. And we did it. And well, it cost us a lot of money at the end, because obviously we never recover all what we had in our, which we have refound, and in the product. But it doesn't matter. We work hard. In January, we work hard to try to understand where was it, when we have proof of delivery, can the customer say, I'm sure you've not been delivered because we have proof? And if the customer says, no, I didn't get it, we gave up, basically. That means the net was quite impactful for the company, but it was absolutely nothing in terms of cost in relation to loyalty of the customer. Customer knew that we won't let them down. And we will take on our own cars, anything will happen. That is an example to show you that that's the way we think. And that also highlights one way we think long term, not short term. It was December. As you know, we are, as an Nasdaq company, we are quarterly or the yearly, therefore, end of December, you close the account and you have to report back. Doesn't matter to us. Even if that was impacting our total year profit, that was not the problem. The problem was having to try for the customer. And because this year business may be impacted, the profitability of the year has been impacted by that, particularly in the UK. But you know what? It doesn't matter. What matters is next year, from January onward, people are going to come back and say, these guys are great because they didn't let me down. I will continue to shop. And hopefully what we hope, I will shop more. That's what that is the secret sauce. I don't know if it's a public secret sauce, but I'm going to explain you how the sauce works. But that is the real secret sauce. All start with customer experience. You can take it from one way to the other. I'm going to just follow the customer experience. You really do believe all start with customer experience. You need to bring to your customer the great experience. You cannot do logistic and e-logistic when you deal directly with customer or consumer without having the right experience. I think the 20 years of this e-commerce and e-retailing has proven that. I mean, the ones which have survived and developed are the ones which put that at least quite high in their list. For us, it was on the top, easy. But for others, that's been pretty high and they succeed as well. But all start with that. Get the right customer for experience. Of course, in delivery, that's an obvious one, is where we are absolutely impacted and what we work on. But also on the website, obviously. Make sure that it's easy to navigate, it's easy to pay, it's, make the customer all in all very convenient. The customer experience also speed. I will come back on that obviously. Make sure it's very convenient to what they need in terms of getting the product, and getting it at the right speed as well. When you get the customer experience, obviously, you get traffic. Traffic is website. People come to your website. They go and they are buying, or at least they are looking for product that they want to buy. And therefore, more customer you have, more you have traffic. When you get the traffic, you attract sellers. That is this merchant people. Because if you have traffic on the web economy, the traffic is a key metrics which says how many people coming to view on the website. More you have view, more people want to put their product where there is view. Therefore, you drive seller. If you drive seller, you drive selection. One of the key elements of our strategy has been from the beginning, I mentioned about book, but having as more possible selection. There was this piece of discovery that I mentioned earlier in our first statement, the mission statement, which is we want to bring selection. We don't want to bring only the last DVD blockbuster, when I go back to media, or the last camera. We want every camera. And we want it to be displayed even in a way that even the bad ones we want to show them. We may not buy them and offer them from our inventory, that's where we make a distinction. But even if there is a camera which seems to not be that good from a customer perspective, we want to show it. And by the way, we are even allow the customer to say that's a good one, what the reviews are on our website, where we are saying, you know what, we put it there, you do whatever you want, we use the other customer, you use the price, we use the other customer, you decide whether you want to buy it or not. Selection is a huge part of it. That we need to think about people come to us first to see if that does exist, and after maybe they start to look at if there is a price advantage to go elsewhere. That's a key element. In book is what made the difference. I mean, I think I know still now some local bookshops which are very hands-on when they need a book that they will never put in their store. But you know what? The customer comes in their bookstore and they say they're not maybe too much on the web aspect, and they say, oh, you have that book? And the person says, no, I don't have it for you. And now, instead of before, with the traditional way of the book, oh, come back in a month, I've got your book, and they say, come back in 3 days, I've got your book for you. And the book is from us, and we deliver it to them, and they delight our customer. Therefore, the selection is a key element of our strategy, because in selection, you bring customer experience. They could see and absolutely offer a large array of product to customers. When that starts, it's spinning. It starts spinning. I mean, you start to get growth because more customer, more traffic, more seller, more selection. It starts to make the wheel spinning. When the wheel is spinning, the good aspect is there is two things which start to be impacted is your cost. First, your cost structure. Obviously, as I said earlier, particularly in our world, size matters. That's absolutely true. At the different size, you can make different things, and you can make them at a different cost. Exactly. The fulfillment cost of our CEO sending a package in 95, well, it's far different than what we do today from the 120 fulfillment centers around the world. Obviously, it's lower. We optimize that by far. Therefore, you start to lower your cost structure. And in our company, when we lower the cost structure, we lower our price on the website. Therefore, and once again, I'm pleased also to be able even internally to demonstrate it. Therefore, every saving we do, we pass to customer. I mean, if you know Amazon, we don't have the best reputation of being a very big profit margin company. Why? Because every time we save a penny or a cent, we pass it to customer. We lower our logistic cost, it's just for customer. And if we lower our transportation cost, we do free shipping. That's the way it works for us. It's not let's enjoy the money. No, or give to the shareholder. Shareholder will wait. Let's wait. We reinvest in customer. Very important bit. Therefore, every time we lower the cost structure, we lower our price because price matters. And in that case, we delight customer. And we make it spinning again. And this virtuous circle, by the way, is exactly that. Just spin the wheel to generate growth. Because with growth, everything happens. Now I'm going to go back less general and more about evolution of our delivery. And really what we are here for. And explain you the mechanism. It's very simple, by the way. Okay, this one is not the secret. This one is the obvious one. But I think that our own profession, I've been 16 years at Amazon. I'm still very young, but I had a small career before in the logistic world, and therefore I know what it is. I know how I was thinking before it. Therefore, but the question is far more simple. Therefore, I'm going to explain you how we see evolution in our world, how we get to where we are now and where we are coming from for those which may not be as knowledgeable. Hopefully you can see. Basically, we started more or less at the beginning and in everywhere where obviously shipping to our customer was not free, except when the customer, they already embedded that. When customer wanted to get a slower service, yeah, they could be free shipping, but most of the time you have to pay to be delivered. We all started there. It lasts pretty long. Now we introduced many free shipping program, kind of, which was the time, if you accept to wait and you get it for free. You have also a program where as soon as you buy a certain amount, you get it for free. We still have those, by the way, on our website respectively. We didn't push back. We are building. The reason why when you see on the chart is we're building on. We're not kind of switching and around. However, one of the key things we did in 2006, starting in the US, I mentioned is the introduction of our Prime program, which was to say, first we need to be fast. Is key. The secret sauce is be fast. I mean, there is one thing that, back in 2003 and 4, Jeff was asking a conference where the company was at. In 2000, everybody sees us as being disappearing in the next 6 months. When I joined, my first 6 months was about, my people in France would say, are we really going to survive? And it was a question. And 2003 and 4, the market understood that, we passed this kind of bubble internet, and we're going to be more or less there for long. We were losing a lot of money, but we will be there for long. At that time, basically, what happened there is we decided that one thing we need to think about what customer wants, and try to understand what they want, and say, okay, instead of trying to go and try to figure out what do they want in 10 years, we reversed the paradigm, and Jeff was responding many press saying, you know what, there is few things that there's a lot of things I don't know about the future. Don't come to me as someone which knows everything. I'm not a Messi. I don't know a lot of things. However, there was a few things that I know. I know one thing. Customer will never tell me, your service is fantastic, but I wish it is a little bit slower. That he was sure of that. Therefore, for him, we need to increase the speed of delivery. It was a no-brainer because you don't need to do a survey for that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to make anyone in the room feeling uncomfortable now or with their boss later. But those surveys, when you ask the customer what they want in delivery, are used as think about what you want as a customer, and you're going to get it. Now, the issue that we have as a logistician is often you are uncomfortable with the answer. These guys want to be delivered quick and pay nothing. Are they mad? Yeah, but it's what they want. Therefore, you know what? Forget about the study and work on that. That's exactly what we've been doing. We say we're not going to go and ask our customer if they want to be delivered quick. By the way, we're not going to go and ask our customer if they want to not pay a lot of money. We know they don't want to pay a lot of money. We don't have to get a questionnaire for that, a survey for that. We know it. Therefore, when you get this new paradigm, you say it has to be quick, it has to be cheap or free. Now you get your roadmap for the next 20 years. And it's what we get. We started, Prime program was exactly that. Prime was how we make the delivery fast and free. At least there is a subscription, that's true, but at least on a way that the customer don't think about every time I buy, should I buy, what should I, it's become free. It's a all-you-can-eat program. You pay once, you don't have only delivery service benefits, you have also other benefits. We had that all the time, but it was, let's make that. A fortune for a company at the beginning, I tell you. Because what we do as well, we don't try to get something that we are understanding very well how it's working and it's financially valuable to start doing it. We do it, and we are running and fighting to make it valuable. And sometimes we fail, and that's why we stop. But on the core program, we push very hard. It's exactly what I want to try. At the beginning, at that time, when we started this program, once again, I mean, we were told, Amazon, you're not doing any advertisement. At that time we're not doing, but I know we started. But you're not doing any advertisement on the TV, you're not doing much advertisement on the paper or whatever. Why not? What's your marketing budget? It's very tiny. What is it? And Jeff was literally saying, my marketing budget is my shipping margin, which at that time was minus 800 million for the company. Therefore, this is the cost minus the revenue, minus 800 million. That was the marketing budget for Vrtuoz. Everyone was saying, this is how I spend my money. And you know what? That bring me more customers than any marketing campaign on the TV. That was the way we were saying things. Okay, Prime program well introduced. You pour a lot of money into it, but you say, you know what? I pour money, that's going to bring later. And by the way, internally, it was coming to us and say, guys, you have to decrease this cost now. You have to be clever, you have to be innovative, because we need to make the next delivery cheaper. And when we started, I will explain a few things we did in order to make that happen. Now, we moved one level up. I mean, next day delivery, the end of 2010 was becoming you do it for those who are selling and or at least as providing a service. Then it was becoming a little bit more common. Not free for everyone, for sure, but maybe more common for every e-commerce. Therefore, we've been told, okay, now, what next? Same day. We need to do same day. We need to be very light at the instantaneous purchase, and the person who purchase and get it very quickly, because obviously the time you wait between the time you click and the time you get the product, it's a bad time for us. We want the customer to know what they just bought. Therefore, we've been told you need to work on the same day. We didn't say that in 10. We started to introduce in same day. And we started to introduce the same day. And now we make the customer pay for a long time on same day, and we just started in a few countries. Now it's not a service which is spread across all the country. It's more localized, more big cities, and we get it in major cities in Europe now. But we really push our same day a lot, and we make it pay. But okay, that was not big. That was not big enough. Therefore, what we did is okay now. Okay. What we said after that is we say, okay, now we need to push, because also, remember the selection, we want to sell more product. And we started for many years, we started to do some delivering fresh, to start with this big thing that we're going to touch in. Now, for many years in the US, we started to start fresh, and we started to make it right, and delivering of the fresh product to customers. And in 2013, we finally find what we think was the right balance of make it work, make it scalable and work. And we started deploying in the US. This year, we started in London on the fresh delivery, and we continue to expand as well as more. That has introduced a scheduled delivery, fresh, a very time and scheduled delivery. But once again, it was not enough. Because same day, even if there is not that many, what we started to do is that's too long still. Therefore, how we can go further? And we've been challenged of, you need to go further. Same day is basically order by noon, and it will be delivered on the evening, I'm going to say. And we introduced this new Prime Now in 2014, very end of 2014, in the US again, expanded in Europe, and now pretty in every country in Europe, the Prime Now concept. Get delivered in 1 hour. Click to receive your product in 1 hour. Our internal record is 3 minutes 53 in Milan. The customer clicked, 3 minutes 53 later, the product was at the door. He was sitting very close to our fulfillment center. But it was not better. It was not better. It was a real customer at least. But that was an opportunistic one. However, under 1 hour, strong. And it's 1 hour, if you are able to order a product in 1 hour, we have the product, is within an hour of your address of delivery, guaranteed. And we offer also 2 hours, 1 or 2 hours. But 1 hour, and we made it happen. And we're extending that in many countries. It's a country by country, where we made fast, go fast. Now we continue to work on the cost as well. Last year, in the UK at least, we've been able to introduce the free in Germany product. We've been able to introduce now your Prime customer get free same day. That was another state again, where we make it pay for a while. It was pretty expensive at the beginning. If I remember, it was up to 12 or 15 pound or euro, depending which country you are, but more or less, which was even covering our costs clearly, but it was a kind of price or something that could say okay. Now we say no, for those people which are obviously trust us because they become Prime customer, we're going to make it free for them. And we started last year, where when you Prime customer in London or Munich, you can get it free to your home. You need to leave those cities again, but you can order once again by noon and be delivered from 5 p.m. in the afternoon. That is the way that we see the evolution in delivery. Work to the speed, and after work to the cost. Don't wait to get a free business model before doing anything. Because standing still is the worst thing could happen to us in logistics. If you don't evolve, you have no chance to become a leader, you have no chance to attract customers. Therefore, our view is go on the speed, go on the cost. Go on the speed, sometimes we go on more, and go on the cost. Now, and we'll continue that. And the last service we just introduced, I think it was this week even, on Tuesday, this new, it's a different way, but the new restaurant delivery in London. Now you can order on Amazon your favorite local restaurant, and we go pick up for you and bring to your home. That's a new service as well. We do a kind of it's more it's not a C2C, but it's very local again. We are using the network of deploying delivery to pass everything possible in this network, to make it effective, to make it grow fast, to lower cost. How we make that happen? Because I think it's maybe where you can be interesting. We started with our own fulfillment. That was, once again, the demonstration of how logistics was perceived by our own CEO and the company as a strategy. Jeff never wanted to outsource entirely for fulfillment because he knew it was absolutely the middle of the experience for customers. Therefore, he said, we will have our own fulfillment. We use third-party fulfillment for some specialties we do. But today, it's less than 5% of our total fulfillment. The rest is in-house. This fulfillment center are ours with our people. However, when we started, we were nowhere close to have the scale of having our own distribution network. Therefore, we started with our third-party carrier. And we still use them a lot, by the way. We love them. We use all postal carrier in the world, or the country where we operate, and we still work with them. And we will still work with them. However, in order to achieve for our customers before, in order to achieve that, is we need to make sure that we continue to bring the capacity first, that's the key element. Because if you want a next-day service, you need to next-day capacity in the country. And as it was not the norm, unfortunately, at one point you start running out of capacity. And what happened there is we start on some of the countries are running out of capacity. Or the quality is not good enough because based on growth as well doesn't increase, the quality deteriorates over time because people add but don't add the right way. Therefore, we decided to do in 2011. We say, and that is down to Amazon Logistics, say, now we start to have pretty decent size in some of the country where we were the first customer of those carrier, and we still are in many countries, the first customer, client of those carrier. Therefore, but we have a size which is good enough that we can maybe consider doing our own delivery with our own parcel because we've got enough. We're quite large. Therefore, we started in 2011 to test that, and we piloted. We started to send our own driver. Own driver is subcontractor, but delivering only our parcel very locally by organizing. And in feeded, more than anything, our know-how in technology into that. Therefore, it's doing it differently. Therefore, we develop a full routing and routing algorithm. We develop a full app. Our app to deliver our drivers work with an Amazon app which has been developed internally. We are a technology company. Therefore, we developed all that, and we started to send people and starting to optimize for ourselves. What we've been doing since 2011 and expanding that. Now in 2013, we had another piece which would be helpful that many know is the locker piece, where it's the equivalent, I would say, while different of the pack station or for the German one, or is those locker pods where you could put your parcel instead of to bridge this gap for some of the customers we cannot deliver home and you cannot leave a parcel. Therefore, we introduced our own program. We started investing, make it convenient as well. After that, I call out the Primer program. The Primer program, on top of being a program for customers, is also deploying fulfillment capability in city with a very tiny inventory, but quite wide selection because they carry up to 20,000 different products. But they don't have a lot of inventory because those facilities are small and starting fulfilling customers very fast on that. Therefore, we dedicate another part of our logistics to a very tiny piece and start to optimize on that one. The same, that plus logistics require that we need drivers. We need to find people to do this delivery. Therefore, what we did last year in 2015 is introducing the Flex program, which is basically allowing most of the people to join us in delivery. That's what we call the crowdsourcing in delivery, making people be able to subscribe themselves on an app and start coming to our fulfillment center, pick up items and deliver to our customers. on almost a transactional basis, almost. It's more about slot basis, hour basis is almost. That is also a way to feed all the program, by the way. They feed the Amazon Logistics, but they feed the Prime now, which need deliveries as well. And we've seen as well, very recently, that we started, when we go on the very small and tiny, we also go on the big. We started in July or we announced, at least in July, our first cargo here. We got this Amazon plane coming into place. Every time there is an opportunity for us to optimize, we do it. That's the way we see operation. And I think where the first 15 years of Amazon have been really only in the operation, fulfillment based, where we introduce, for example, robotics as well at the end of it, where we start to get Kiva, or the former name, the company we bought, and we integrate more and more robotics. I think we have a very, very solid fulfillment, internal fulfillment, developed across the 15 years. Now, since the year 2000, we enter in the era of the transportation era, basically, where we're going to invest more and more on this part. We need to be developed first for capacity, but we need also to be improved, and for which we expect to lower the cost. And it's exactly what those planes do in the US today. But when you have to cross the country, we could do ourselves. We're big enough now to do ourselves. We don't need to rely necessarily on a postal carrier to do it, because we've got enough load every single day to cross the country with our plane. Therefore, we'll see those planes coming. We just announced them in July officially, because they will be branded as well. But which only purpose is speed up, create capacity, speed up plane, and lower the cost. And finally, I could not have mentioned it, but the drones are in the same spirit as well. The drones are exactly trying to tackle the same thing. Go think about the next time, how you could be quicker, how you could be maybe more environmental friendly, how you could be more convenient to customer. That is one passing. That's where we are. It will go faster. Okay, now just to finish, I got just starting on a very small video to show you
what it is. This is a story from the not too distant future. It's the day of your daughter Millie's big football match, and to be clear, that is the sort of football you play with your feet. Anyway, she is missing a vital piece of equipment, specifically a size 3 Puma Evo Power firm ground soccer shoe, the left one. And some of it, sadly, is in the family's 3-year-old bulldog, Stuart. So now what? Well, you could yell angrily at the poor thing, but what's the point? Because all they got here is blah, 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 Stuart's blah, blah, Stuart's blah. Much better to behave like a rational human being. Find your tablet and place an order with Amazon for a pair of Puma Evo Power firm ground soccer shoes, and have them delivered in 30 minutes, or less. And in a location not too far away, a miracle of modern technology is dispatched. It's an Amazon drone, and after rising vertically like a helicopter to nearly 400 feet, this amazing hybrid design assumes a horizontal orientation and becomes a streamlined and fast airplane. In time, there'll be a whole family of Amazon drones, different designs for different environments. This one can fly for 15 miles. And it knows what's happening around it. It uses sense and avoid technology to, well, sense and then avoid obstacles on the ground and in the air. Back at the house, you're getting a message on your tablet to say that the Prime Air delivery is arriving. And it goes back to vertical mode and scans the landing area for potential hazards. This amazing innovation then lowers itself slowly to the ground, drops off the package, and flies straight back up to altitude. And moments later, you're walking through the door with a brand new pair of Puma Evo Power firm ground soccer shoes, size 3 for Millie, and a Marylebone chicken flavoured Durant shoe for naughty Stuart. And balance is restored to the universe.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I can sit?
Yeah, try.
I need to tell you.
Mine didn't work. Thank you. Well, thank you, Philippe. But you ran a bit out of schedule. I think it was insightful and passionate. So thank you for that. You know, it's I know it's you're not the kind of company who talks a lot. So thank you so much for being here and sharing your thoughts and with this great audience we have with us, coming from so many countries in the world. Once, so I was just thinking of some questions when I listened to you, and what I struck me the most that you're into like logistics and supply chain, and your whole presentation was about customer experience. So I mean, I know that you love like the expression secret sauce.
Yeah, you did. That's what you know.
So yes, in a way, so maybe exactly so that's the thing is that the secret sauce not by putting the right focus on customer experience. I mean, on logistics, then it raises the customer, let's say, satisfaction, and then it provides growth, and we've seen growth, right? So, I mean, I have a question. So, I mean, how key is like Amazon's operations to the rest of the business? If you want, you can take your Scottish accent on.
I completely agree on that. I wish in some extent that the presentation gave you a bit of flavor of that. Meaning, that has always been the cornerstone. I mean, from day one. I mean, Jeff is there. I'm referring a lot about Jeff. There isn't any no arguments on that or whatever. And to be honest, it's a while I've not met him. I think maybe a few years because he's busy. But regularly at the earlier stage, he was involved in many things. He was doing fulfillment review and traveling into Europe and visiting the sites. And many times I probably to work with him. I did a lot of meetings with him when we were speaking about that. And Jeff was spending time still up to the 2008 or 9 where he could meet on a single country level in Europe and discuss about what do we do to increase the speed for our customer. Tell me about what the data behind that. Therefore, it's sometimes difficult when you see what Jeff become to figure out what he is, because I think he's still exactly what he is. It's really admirable in front of what the operation are doing. He always, this is not close to his art necessarily, he's a very technology guy, but it's not for obviously more logistic, but he's just amazed that's like, I've seen the presentation of plan of what we're doing with Jeff Bezos was acting like a child with a Christmas gift, like opening this plan, like, you're gonna really do that? And amazed by what we are doing. And it is a very technological guy. However, he's a demanding guy as well. Therefore, that you get what you deserve, basically. Therefore, that's the whole company from the early beginning was structured around a set of fulfillment. Our own fulfillment. He wanted it to be ours. He's spending a huge amount of money, and the loss of the company, particularly at the beginning, has been burned on what was spent on the operation. With good and bad, we made mistakes, by the way. We had few failures in logistics, but not stopping to go. Just carrying on, trying and doing something different and trying again. And all the time, when we came to Jeff, at any point of time of what I have experienced over 15 years, 16 years in the company, a lot of money we're allocating to our development in terms of investment, when we speak about CapEx, and sometimes not with a strong business case as a ROIC, and how that's going to work, just about the belief that that's the right thing to do for the customer. Therefore, do it. And after you will figure out how to make it efficient. You will figure out how to make it work for our customer. Therefore, there is so many, for us it's hard to say, as you said, I'm speaking a lot about customer because it's all what we've been living. Therefore, it's not something, we don't have marketing department in our company. Meaning, we don't have people which are just taking care of our, we all the marketing of this company, and we've been told we are, because what we do is influencing directly with the customer at the end order and buy on our website. There's a reason why that you will meet all Amazonian, and more than being a kind of a brainwashing, it's just the people are living that because it's their day-to-day. They will go to their boss at any point of time asking for something, and they will be asking about, yeah, but what would that bring bottom line to the customer? What would it improve to the customer?
And so exactly, and this answer, and you also mentioned a lot about what brought you here, all this 20 years experience. But I know that you said that you don't want to say breaking news, but let's tell us about still the future a bit. I mean, you said that it's day one, so I mean, just give us something like what are the innovations maybe Amazon is actually building up in the future. Just give us some flavor, as you said. Still.
I'm not going to do it, by the way. No, there's two things. The drone is one of the latest innovations that we've been working on, and it's not there, but we're already seriously working on that one. One of the things is, 10 years ago when I started to take transportation, in the same spirit, in the same spirit of innovation, and one of the presentations to my team, introducing what we have to do in transportation, I put a slide about one day, guys, we're going to have to think about beaming. You know what beaming is? The Star Trek beaming, when they're just getting in. And I said, guys, this is what we're going to have to work to. I mean, instantaneous transportation, point to point, very cheap. And I said, that is exactly what we need to do. And funnily enough...
Did you lose a job then?
Sorry?
You lose a job.
No, it was a lot to organize on the beaming, don't worry. And at the end of the day, that this year, I don't know if you've seen that news, but Jeff is doing a steering in the last Star Trek. Therefore, I think soon he's going to come back to us and say, the beaming I did 10 years ago, we need to work on that one, because I've seen it works very well in the movie. And therefore, no, but seriously enough, I mean, I cannot tell you what I know. And the great thing about this company is not about, I spoke about Jeff, it's far to be about one leader. He's quite an inspiring leader, because if the company is there, it's mostly of him as well, driving from the beginning. But it's 100,000 people that we try to go as a team, as very clever, very business focused from various areas. The e-commerce doesn't exist 20 years ago, therefore don't try to hire people. You take people like me that may be converted, because not too old, and open mind, but now we start training on it. But we start to take people from any kind of industry, as long as they understand what we want to reach and they are innovative enough. Therefore, innovation is coming all the time. We made many tiny, we always want the big thing, big bang thing. What we're not necessarily targeting. The drone is going to be the big bang, that's going to revolution, whether or not that will change. However, there is many things that the team are doing every day in our team, which are having innovation, optimizing a route, redesigning a process on the fulfillment center or in a delivery station, programming an algorithm, because many of us are also in this 100,000 are software engineer in all fields. In the supply chain world at Amazon, we've got more than 2,000 software engineers, because we put the same attention to our website that we put to our app that the driver is going to use every day to deliver a parcel. I mean, there is the same intensity of being innovative, have a live parcel, being very accurate on the address you give to the driver or the direction to give the driver. Therefore, it's hard for me to tell you, oh, that is the next thing which is going to come. Those are almost out, those that we are working on. There is no real secret. What we're going to do is working on what the customer wants. Ask yourself as a customer, what you will wish Amazon do for you in the next few years. You come to tell me, and I will try to make it happen.
It's just also for you to know, yesterday evening we had also two great presentations about a robot, delivery robot, and drone delivery. And in both presentations, actually, we were mentioning the Amazon drones. And we made the survey in the room, and we had 60% of the people here in the room who believe in drones, 40 not. So I believe that you
believe it was 67 to be precise.
No, 60.
67.
You have to
okay,
which
is fantastic. I think
60,
it's fantastic.
60 pro, 40 cons.
Yes,
60,
60, 40.
64 yen.
And
Okay.
it was
I was
67.
scared, but I was like, had better information than me.
At the beginning it was
That was
67,
scary.
and then
That's
yeah,
scary.
it was
Unreal.
60.
Okay. Just maybe to be more precise about the, just to write up, because we're running a bit late. So about the future still. I mean, so you mentioned a bit about Prime Air, so
Yeah,
the drones.
which
You
is
mentioned the Amazon Air Cargo, so the Amazon One, right?
Yeah.
I love that. I did it one ago. Amazon One, it's cool. And or like Amazon Logistics, what you're precisely running. So just give us like a flavor on it. So what's the next step? Behind those three products?
I'm going to cover first for the drone. I think I absolutely respect I think if you have run the survey 2 years ago, the first time we put a video, that would have been 10% say yes and 90% say no. Therefore, I think already in a year and a half time, 2 years, amazing how that. I believe I was 2 years ago running. I do some course on the student, and I give them that as a subject for the exam. Say, do you believe drone? Very short after the Amazon release that, do you believe drone? And most of the students, young people, don't believe into that. They say, no, it's few more. I think we need to work. There's so much work to do. I cannot blame the people. The 40% will say, no, I don't trust it. What we do on that, we just signed, and you may have seen that in the news in July, an agreement with the CAA in the UK, where we have a field there, an experimentation field that we developed, and we have an agreement with the CAA to test several parts of the drone. Therefore, we're working on it. Will it be a fail? Let's discuss it in 5 years maybe, or will it be a success in the same way let's discuss in 5 years. We believe into it, and we think there will be a use of them. There will be a way, when our cities start to be on the ground, so jammed, there will be a time where you won't be able to get any truck in a city. Obviously non-electrical, and at one point even electrical, that's going to be too much traffic, and they're going to want to put that. Now it's going to be 20 years from now, but let's start working on it. On the air thing, we continue to expand. It's just the air is speeding up the thing. And particularly in geography like the US, or in Europe as a wider Europe. On the country basis in Europe, if I speak about UK to UK, France to France, Germany, air is not relevant in this. Reason why we will not start like that. But at the EU-wide level, you can definitely use air to cross the EU to go to the south from the UK and so on, and better optimize our fulfillment network. Therefore, yes, we will continue to develop it. It's in this one, where there is the innovation. The innovation is just about using it at the right time and at the right organization to make it efficient. Aircraft have been there for ages. Therefore, we're not, our aircraft are not any different. There are still Boeing aircraft, standard aircraft, are not any different painting. Therefore, the way we're going to use it, that is where the know-how will be and the benefit will come. And finally, you mentioned Amazon Logistics, and I cover that. We think that with putting more technology in that piece, we could become better in service and better in cost. Therefore, we invest a lot in technology. I think when we started, we were not sure we'd be successful. I mean, in the UK, when we started in the UK, we did a lot of calculation. Our operation research scientists, I met people working, trying to tell me by the number, would we be close? And the guys say, yeah, we're close to get kind of optimization and route and based on our own volume. And we know that we're growing, that will be only better over time. But we did, I think, a year and a half of what I would call a pilot, very tiny pilot in the UK to develop the software and to make it. After a year and a half, we were not yet at all in the cost level of the other carrier. But one thing we reached is the customer experience. And at Amazon, that's enough. Therefore, we knew that get the customer experience right. As soon as we showed that we were delivering more accurately than any of our carriers in the UK, the company said, okay, it's more expensive, but go. You're going to figure out the cost. It took us an additional 2 years and a half to be more expensive than our main carrier, the one we are paying to others. And after basically 3 years and a half, we become all of a sudden a better than that. Because we reach also a certain scale. And now we are performing better. Now we start with the geography, it's the same. Therefore, we really take that as a just go do the right thing for customer when it's needed. And our drive is that, is the capacity first, the customer experience and the car. Where we don't need capacity, when the customer experience is right and when the cost is right, there is no reason for me to go. That's the way, because we have so much money we could spend elsewhere that there is no reason to go. But there is a need there. Starting from the capacity is where I have to start implementing the solution.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much.
go back to the rest of the program. So you had like plenty of one-on-one meetings, and I apologize that we were really late, but I think it was worth it. So there will be also like a workshop starting soon, studio, and please remind you to vote for the workshop, for the awards. Remember, then we will come back here at the awards. Thank you very much.